Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Tony's Tech Talk. These are monthly talks where you guys get to vote on the subject that I'm going to talk about, and hopefully we get to show you what's underneath the bonnet on the Kantan platform. Now, we received a tie this week, or this month rather, for the TTT, Tony's Tech Talks, and it's to talk about KantanLQR, the new feature, which is A/B sample testing that's built into that feature, and also neural networks. So I've got my job cut out for me today. In the next 10-15 minutes, I'm going to talk about those two technologies. And in fact, interesting enough, those two technologies were developed hand in hand because they're being used internally here in order to vet and evaluate the quality that we're getting from our neural machine translation engines. Okay, so we didn't develop A/B testing and the capability to build an A/B testing test plan in KantanLQR in isolation of our neural MT project. We actually did it at the same time so that we could evaluate how well and how good our neural MT engines work. Now, I have to say, we live in exciting times, guys. There's a revolution coming in how we build build machine translation engines, and I think based on the performance and based on the rapid development that we've made on neural MT in the last 6 to 7 months, I feel that the days of statistical engines are probably numbered at this stage, and that the entire industry will be switching to neural MT systems pretty promptly and pretty quickly. So what we've done is we've accelerated our development here, and we're going to release neural MT onto the Kantan network over the next 4 to 5 weeks. Now, phase 1 we've completed is already available to you guys today. Phase 2 will be launched in the February timeframe. So that's the kind of the helicopter view, I guess, of what we're up to here at KantanMT. So let's talk about KantanLQR, just to give you a sense of what we have to do in KantanLQR to help us evaluate whether a statistical engine is producing better translation or worse translation than a neural engine. So if I go into KantanLQR, here's KantanLQR on the screen, guys, and you can see here that what we have is in our projects field, our project screen, we have the column here called project, so no change there. You can see the name here, project. But adjacent to that project, you'll see we now have this thing called type. So there's 2 types of projects now supported in the KantanLQR environment. So if I click on the new wizard, the very first thing I'm asked to do is give a project a name, and then from that, I select the project type. So I can have a quality estimation project. So quality estimation is the determination of the quality of a particular segment based on the MQM framework, the DQF framework, or in fact our simplified framework. Or you can also do A/B testing as well, where you can ask the translator, is sample A better than sample B? So once you select your project type, everything else is the same. It's the same user interface as before. So if you look at the projects here down the end, you'll see we've got this little icon here with 2 boxes out of 4 highlighted. That's to signify that's an A/B test. And you can see that this test is called A/B sampling, and it is actually currently running. You can see the little ticker box there is running. It's a running project. And as the project manager, since I've logged in as project manager, if I click on the analytics button here, oops, I beg your pardon, I'll just log back in there. You can get a sense of how those that A/B sample project is actually running. So you can see that 100% of my translators have accepted the project. They've actually reviewed 43% of the data so far, so there's 57% of the data still to be tested. And if I look down at my scores here, you can see that 55% of the translation has been selected by the translator from target B, which is my neural MT engine. 19% has been selected by the translator, and that's from my statistical engine, and 25% of the translation is the same. So you can see that that's a very healthy score for a neural engine. The neural engine represents 55 plus 25, 80% of the translation selected by this translator. And this is what the amazing thing is in terms of neural. You're going to see some incredible translations And you know, one of the things about a neural approach to MT is that when it does a good job, it does a really good job. Unfortunately, when it does a bad job, it tends to do a really bad job. So we're trying to solve that at the moment, trying to improve the fidelity of the engine, and we've made good progress, and I think you'll see some exciting developments from our development team in the next couple of weeks. So this is what this A/B testing is. So start using it, guys. We're using it internally here to determine how the translation is going. If you click on the test data tab here, by the way, you can actually see the text that we're actually translating here. You can see this one here. I'll just select this here. You can see that that one is the source text. Here's the target text and the target B. In this case here, it's actually identical. So the statistical engine has produced the same translation as the neural MT engine, and you can see which target group that's been selected for as well. So very, very easy way. And of course, you can download all that results, that data, into a spreadsheet if you want to do finer levels of analysis. So let's get back to the meat and potatoes of today's presentation. It's about how do you run a neural engine on the Kantan platform. Well, guys, remember the Kantan platform is a vast array of distributed servers. We have approximately 700 servers on the system at the moment. So we've got the ability to have a lot of capacity there. And one of the features that we launched earlier on in the year is a feature called KantanFleet. And KantanFleet contains a number of domains and engines, pre-trained engines in those domains. And in fact, one of our developers, Pat Nagel upstairs, has developed over 200 engines over the last several months. So it's done an amazing job in getting those engines into the hands of our clients. And what Pat has done is actually built those engines using statistical systems. Okay, so they're all statistical engines. However, we now have in KantanFleet some neural engines that are available to everybody worldwide to start using immediately. So the way you access that is you click on the KantanFleet button, or wizard as we call them, and you simply look at the domains that are available in your account, and you'll notice down the end here we have a new domain called Neural MT. So all you do is select Neural MT, hit the next button, and now it'll display all of the engines that are available to you. So what we've done is we've validated 3 engines so far. We've several more in development, which will be launched in the next week or two. As we sign them off, we'll release them automatically. So you'll see this list grow on a daily or weekly basis with more engines appearing. So if you want to, say, run a English to German translation project, you just select that German engine. Oops, I've already copied that into my, let's say, take the Japanese one. So we'll select the Japanese engine. So we'll select the next button, and that tells me the size of the engine. So this engine has a blue score of 39.25. It consists of 88 million words, and the unique word count is 676. So it's quite a good starting engine. And to copy that into your account, you simply hit the Create button. So what that will actually do now is copy a neural engine in the language arc of English into Japanese directly into your Kantan account, which is pretty cool. So that's how simple it is to get your hands on an engine. Now, if you want to see all the engines in my account at the moment, I'll just hit the neural button here, and you can see, I'll just scroll down to the very end here. You can see we have a little bit of an icon beside. Oops, it looks like I've lost my internet connection there. Let me just log back out again and log back in. Apologies for that, guys. So if I just search for all my neural MT engines, I've just given them a prefix of NMT. You can see that all of your neural engines will have this little symbol adjacent to them. Okay, so this just is to signify that that's a neural MT engine. So if you want to start using that neural engine, you just simply select this as you do for any other engine, okay? And then you click on the Client File tab, and you simply upload your files that you want to translate into this engine, into that tab, and then hit the Translate button. And what that will do now, guys, is as before, launch a job on the Kantan platform. So I've got a job number there, 83522, and I can actually track the running of that job on my platform as we did before. So there's no change in how you actually operate, select, or launch a neural MT engine as opposed to a statistical engine. So now we've got coexistence between two types of technologies. We've got neural MT engines running on the network, the Kantan network, as well as statistical engines. And in fact, when that job finishes, that result will be sent to you in the normal way via your email and so on and so forth. So what's the next phase? Remember, that's phase one. We wanted to give you guys the ability to start experimenting with neural engines. So you can now use our fleet engines to start experimenting with neural engines. But in addition to that, don't forget, guys, you can use KantanLQR to do A/B testing with your translators to give you the confidence that neural MT is actually outperforming statistical MT. So we've given you both sides of the equation, I guess, one to evaluate your output and one to generate the output. So what's the next phase in the rollout of neural MT? Well, if there's one thing that's people really value on the Kantan platform is the ability to train their own engines. And during the month of February, I beg your pardon, during the month of February, we are going to start provisioning GPU machines on the Kantan platform. And you'll note in the February timeframe, your training data tab will start becoming active to you. So you'll be able to select an engine and build it as a statistical engine or as a neural engine. You'll have the option to do both. And the way you change the engine is you simply click on the property button of the network of the engine. So I've just selected the property. I've been a bit too fast there. So you see this button here, guys, that where my mouse is. This is the property button for an engine. So if I select that, you'll now see from a drop-down list, we have the option to switch an engine from statistical mode to neural mode. That's how simple we've made it. Okay? You just choose the type of engine that you want to do. The reason we're making it so simple is because we realize that our clients can't take the risk of switching to neural without doing some internal testing themselves. So what we anticipate is that clients may want to build a statistical engine alongside the identical neural engine and then do some A/B testing to see which performs best in their production scenarios. So we're hoping that we can give you a kind of a soft landing but a rapid takeoff in the adoption of neural MT. And as I said, we're living in really exciting times, guys. This neural technology is really, really coming to fruition. It's producing some startling results in terms of quality of translation. And I think you guys are going to be really impressed that you're on the Kantan platform and we'll be the first to market with this type of technology. One of the things that's really exciting, by the way, about neural MT is that it's almost like the engine, the network, the neural network understands what it's translating. So you're going to get some very novel translation coming from a neural MT engine, something that you won't be able to predict. In fact, you know, I've spent the last several years working with phrase-based systems, so there's a certain predictability of the output of a phrase-based system. I think we have to throw the rule book into the bin for neural MT. You're getting some really incredible translations. So we'd like to think that you can use this technology rapidly. Now you can translate your documents. In February, you'll be able to customize your own domains, and you've got KantanLQR to help you evaluate the translation between both systems. So that's all I wanted to cover today, and I've just gone over time. My apologies for keeping you more than 15 minutes. We do try to keep these demonstrations less than 15 minutes. I hope that's whetted your appetite and gives you a bit of enthusiasm to start using our neural engines and to see how you think they perform compared to statistical engines. Thank you very much, and I look forward to talking to you again at our next Tony Tech Talk. Take care. Bye-bye.